Excellency Prince Dr. Dapo Abiodun MFR that we want to congratulate the Ninayo Sports Management Limited for this initiative. It's in tandem with the policy of His Excellency Prince Dr. Dapo Abiodun. He has 5 cardinal agenda, which he has tagged Ishaya, which is I for infrastructure, social welfare, education, youth empowerment that concerns us, and as well as agriculture. And I want to once again congratulate the consultants. We want to say that there's no doubt that this program is going to further develop the sport in Ogun State. It will gainfully engage our youth, and it's going to create social economic development of our state. And of course, we as government, I want to assure that we create an enabling environment and we as well sustain this program. We want to congratulate you once again, and we want to say we are proud to be part and we'll do everything possible to support you. So thank you, sir.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much, Commissioner.
Thank you so much, Honorable Commissioner, Youth and Sport, Ogun State. Before we proceed, to understand the importance of esports and also why every government should be interested in esports, I want to take some time to appreciate two of our sponsors. I really appreciated Ogun State government as well as Lagos State Sports Commission. It's also important that we also appreciate my X3. And to some of our viewers, you might be wondering, what is my X3? Who is my X3? Right now, a lot of us want to start businesses as people, and we need capital to start businesses. You can approach my X3. My X3 is spelled MI for my X, X-ray and 3. Approach them, visit myx3.com. They have loans for individuals and businesses, and that's why they're supporting us here, in this tournament, because they understand that young people are entrepreneurial and they have
Welcome everybody to another adventure this Sunday to the Game Evo Show. Now today I'm not going to be taking you guys on a gaming review. I'm going to be taking you guys on an adventure we had last year in Côte d'Ivoire, Abidjan. Now they had an event called the Festival of Technology, and in French it's called FEJA. God knows how that corresponds. Anyway, they had a gaming section there which featured FIFA 17, PES 17, Naruto Storm 4, and Street Fighter 5. Yes, we went there with our crew. Nigeria did a couple of games and we came second place in Street Fighter 5. Now, this is our adventure. Don't mind the video. I had to do a video log. We didn't go with our camera crew.
From Ogun State.
But
we all are from Ogun State.
Oh, you're also from Ogun State. Sorry, Mr. Chairman of Lagos Sports Commission.
Yeah.
We always tend to have these Ogun State people.
Wait a minute. Before we went to Côte
But we all
d'Ivoire, we
live
had
in Lagos, and Lagos always empower every one of us.
And we're all Nigerians.
So now you can introduce Laide.
Yes. So, Mr. Laide, thank you once again for the opportunity, and we invite you specially now to give us your take on the potentials of esports in Nigeria and beyond. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Olaide Akonji, also known as Ladi HD, and I'm very happy you all decided to participate in this wonderful event. I'm here to discuss the potential of esports in Nigeria. Now, did you know in October 19th, 1972, the first ever video game tournament took place at the Stanford Artificial Intelligence Lab in California? This event was created by a 33-year-old Stewart Brand who was working on a feature story for Rolling Stone on the potential of computers through video games to unleash creativity and change society. At that time, he may not have foreseen that esports tournaments would be raking in an estimated viewership of over 350 million people, or that it will mark the start of a trend that will birth a $1 billion industry. You might be wondering why esports is suddenly making this much money. The answer to this isn't exactly rocket science. The explosive growth chart remains consistent when you switch over to its parent, the gaming industry. Market research done by expert analysis over at Newzoo put the gaming industry's worth at around $159.3 billion, a number that's expected to rise as high as $180 billion in 2021. Gaming in all its forms isn't going anywhere. That much is very certain. In today's world, esports is officially recognized as a sport in Asia and will be part of the participatory options of the Asian Games in 2022. Also, the United States has been categorizing esports players as professional athletes and recognized esports as a sport. An argument could be made as to why we categorize esports players as athletes, but that debate will take up most of our time and can be discussed at a later time. While the argument remains a live issue of debate, the recent popularity and influence of esports cannot be overemphasized. In 2018, the International Olympic Committee, also known as the IOC, in collaboration with the Global Association of International Sports Federation, GAISF, held the first ever esports forum in France, aimed at having better understanding and building a platform to accommodate esports in the Olympic movement. It's also estimated that esports industry will be competing with Europe's major football leagues in the succeeding years. You might be wondering what that has to do with Nigerians. Well, a good number of Nigerians and Africans are gamers. We always have been. PES, Mortal Kombat, and even Contra, if you will, are some of the games we grew up playing, and we have contributed to the massive numbers I mentioned earlier in no small parts. And yes, we've been essentially absent in the esports scene in all that time. Whatever the reason may be is a discussion for another time, but for the first time, Nigerian gamers are excited, and it's not hard to see why. With competitive leagues and organizations like Now Sports bursting onto the scene and prize pools that are getting increasingly bigger that these pro gamers can compete for, esports in Nigeria is finally picking up steam. Despite increasing interest in esports in Nigeria and some parts of Africa, internet connectivity, game piracy, which takes out the multiplayer function of video games, and lack of dedicated gaming servers mean that the games and tournaments will largely remain avenues for recreation. Online games rely on speed, something called ping in gaming parlance. When ping is high, lags can become a huge issue during competition, especially with international competitors having dedicated servers and fast internet speed, which provide a considerable advantage for them. Esports influencers all over Africa have been looking to attract international gaming companies to build dedicated servers in the region. But some of these argue that there's still not enough clout to commit the necessary resources. Spending more than 10 hours every day playing video games for profits can be a hard concept to grasp in this part of the world, but there's a lot of untapped potential in this sector nonetheless. Esports, which is short for electronic sports, is basically competitive video gaming at a professional level. Originally, what comes to mind when asked what video game entails is that it's a leisure endeavor with friends and family, an exercise mostly associated with teenagers where the winner gets bragging right within his small circle. In esports, the reverse is the case. With the video game competitions, the competitors have a much larger viewership who view either live in the centers, through streaming platforms online or on TV. And they don't play just for bragging rights, but also to fulfill their contractual obligations and secure hefty cash prizes. It's almost akin to a full-time job. Esports could take various forms which are largely dependent on the featured game. However, they majorly take the form of team-based games played throughout a calendar year in the form of leagues or tournaments to culminate in one final event. Esports has become such a global phenomenon in recent times that most stakeholders now set up outfits that are primarily tasked with sourcing and training exceptional gamers to join their gamers leagues. Most leagues often offer regular salaries, side benefits, and player rights when their players remain in the knockout competition, and the benefits increase as the winning progresses. A popular example of an esports team is that created by three-time NBA World Champion Rick Fox, who created the esports team Echo Fox. As regards one renowned esports tournaments, the Federation Internationale de Football Association (FIFA) has its own esports World Cup, where the 32 best professional football console gamers battle for the title of FIFA E-World Cup Championship. Sponsorship, media rights, ticketing, brand advertisements, investment, and popularization puts Russia's esports market first in Europe, with a market worth of about $38 million. with Sweden in second place with $31 million. North America is projected to generate $409 million in 2019. In Asia, China is projecting $210 million of revenue for 2019 as well. India ranked 17 in the global esports tally, boasting a total market worth of $800 million. And the total projected global esports revenue for 2019 was put at $1.1 billion. As with any sports that attracts public attention and large revenue, there's bound to be a concomitant presence of legal constraints, which both the players, investors, and organizers face or may not avert their mind to and should be mindful of. Let's talk a little bit about the legal constraints behind esports. The current regulatory landscape of esports is uncertain. Countries are still trying to understand its reach as a sport in the traditional sense to be able to better regulate it. The current practice is that events slash league organizers make and implement event-specific rules. However, publishers are now getting more increasingly involved, mainly on the areas of cheating, betting, and match manipulation to serve as a guidance during the course of an event, which in the long run leaves room for inconsistency and cannot take the place of a central go-to regulations. The building Nigerian esports community is enjoying to tap into this fortune-willing trend, to which there is no better way to occupy a poised position in the sector than to make it an attractive destination for potential stakeholders by inculcating the best practices from foreign climes and working self-regulatory framework to address the areas of labor and employment disputes, competition, intellectual property, licensing, and among other salient areas pertaining to the legal side of esports. It is also important for lawyers in this country to begin to familiarize themselves with the unique digital ecosystem and industry practices. A better understanding will come in handy when rendering client advice and negotiating contracts at all levels of the industry. That'll be all for me. Thank you very much.
I thank you so much, Mr. Laide. That was very rich. In fact, it was like I was just in class being taught by you. Thank you for telling us the potential of esports in Nigeria and the world at large. So we're going to proceed to hear from one of our sponsors, My X3. We have the MD and CEO, My X3, in person of Mr. Atobatele. Mr. Atobatele, you have about 5 minutes to tell us why My X3 decided to sponsor this particular event and the benefits that individuals and businesses listening to us right now can glean from your organization. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Abiodun Ari. Yeah, I'm the CEO of ATD TechSoft, the owner of the My X3, My Salary and My X3 brand. And so, thank you very much. We are very happy to be associated with something that is new, that is unique, and with huge potential. When the Premiership became very popular in Nigeria, it didn't start with sport betting. The sport betting was not that popular as at the time Premiership became popular. So those people, individuals, and organizations that saw the potential quickly started keying into the industry of sport betting. It was a big deal outside of Nigeria before now, but in Nigeria it was a new thing, and they quickly keyed into it, and it became today what we know as a multi-billion-dollar industry in Nigeria. We in Extralism and ATB were very sure that esports is going to be like that. Every young man in this country today either has a smartphone or wishes to have a smartphone. And if you look at it, the television industry, the live TV industry is really, really going down. Hardly would you see young people trying to watch the traditional television, even DSTV and the likes. They prefer on-demand content. And that is one thing that esports brings. People are able to do what they want to do at the time they want to do it. They're able to be part of competition they want, not just, oh, you need to listen to news, the live TV and all those things. And because this is for young people, these young people will eventually become CEOs, they eventually become employees of companies in the future. In another 5 years, most of the young people who are going to be participating in this will become employees of other companies, will become CEOs, will become managers in other companies. So we want them to be aware of our brand now, so that when they start working in those companies, they'll start telling them about our brand. It will no longer be new to them. So that is why we are associating now. So we want to associate with any brand or any business that talks to young people, any business that takes young people's time and gives and anything that takes their attention, because the business of esports, the game of sports, esports especially, is something that requires your full attention. Anytime my son is playing PS4 or all those things that he play, he gives his 100% attention to it. And if I can get 5 minutes of that attention to sell my product to him or people like him, it will be a big deal for me and for our organization. That is why we are associating with Nilayo Sports on this their innovative idea for Nigeria. At least it's a new thing in Nigeria. If it's been there before, we don't know. So I don't know. For me, it's a new thing, and I'm sure that for millions of Nigerians, it's a new thing. So I wish Nilayo Sports success in this. I hope that we'll start to reap the benefit of partnering with you in the nearest future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much once again, Mr. Tobatele. Right now, we're going to be listening to the representative of HP, Mr. Emmanuel Asika. He's going to be letting us know some of the benefits that we all can get, from the partnership that HP has with Nilayo. So, Mr. Emmanuel, over to you right now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we are with you.
We can hear you.
Good evening, all. I'm quite honored to be in the company of absolutely great minds. It's always for me. It's always a pleasure. So I want to again say thanks to Nilayo Sports for this opportunity, giving to not just me, but of course to the brand, because I think that's also important to mention. So of course, the pandemic has pretty much changed the way we work, the way we engage with life, and more or less, this is probably a permanent change. For me, it was affected at a personal level, and of course, Honorable can attest to this. One of the opportunities that we had to come together was as a result of the pandemic. But again, so norms are being challenged. Our conceptions are also being challenged, and those who will be the deciding people in the future are those who are able to adapt, those who are able to rethink, how they do business and how they generally interact with the world. And that's one of the things that esports is coming at this very crucial time to do. As a business, and I'm talking about HP, we always partner with people who have their eyes on the future. One of our mottos, our catchphrase is that we like to make business better, or we like to make life better for everyone, everywhere. So we like to partner with people who are thinking about the future, people who have the heartbeat on the future. I remember very, very vividly what we call our garage story. The founders of HP started HP in a garage in the midst of a depression. Call it maybe like a pandemic. They started HP with less than $500. Today, it's a multi-billion-dollar corporation, thousands of patents, and thousands of employees, and generally just all around changing the world. So we know that ideas start small. We are not shy to start small, especially with something like this that has great potential. All right, so we're happy to be partnering with Nilay. Of course, there are a couple of things that inform our decision to support and invest, because indeed it's an investment, and it's a combination of a lot of factors. Number one is the fact that we know the brand that is pursuing this agenda. We know their precedents and their history. We know that they do things well, and we know that they get results when they go on whatever adventure that they go on. So it's confidence in the organizers that is one of the reasons why we are going out to invest. The second thing as well is the fact that we believe in this project. All right, so we believe in this project in the sense that we know that sports it's a great multi-billion-dollar industry, and we want to also be at the forefront pushing this objective. Of course, there's also the fact that it's an opportunity for people to get to see and feel some of the absolutely amazing products that we have, and I know that during the course of the next weeks, people will interact with our gaming machines. And I know that Ladi and some of the team would already have seen this, gaming experiential machines. So whether it's the Omen, whether it's the Pavilion for gaming, people will experience the raw power and the beautiful aesthetics and experience when you are using a HP machine. But beyond the experts and the people who actually are into gaming, we want every other person to also experience the power that HP offers in our gaming machines. And again, because we also know that sometimes pricing is a challenge and people think that this is only for the super wealthy, we have various cadres of gaming machines and gaming laptops that can fit into almost every pocket, every cadre of society. So again, it's not just about the talk, it's about getting to feel and experience what we offer. So we see this as a great opportunity for people to realize their potentials, for people to realize that there's an alternative industry, and industry doesn't have to be brick and mortar. Specializations vary, and little things that you would never have thought of could actually be a career and a great career path for young people. But we have absolute confidence that the young guys are the ones who are deciding the future. And so we and us, our responsibility is to enable that creativity, enable that passion that they have, to take us forward into the future. So again, it's for me, it's a great opportunity to be interacting with like minds as we push forward the borders and the frontiers of innovation. It's an opportunity to empower people and let them see the impossible as they interact with the machines and the experience of gaming. It's also another opportunity for us to partner with a great brand, a brand that we hope to partner better again in the future. And it's an opportunity again to invest in the projects, in the Nigerian project again. So that's another thing that is dear to our heart, to invest in the Nigerian project and then take Nigeria to the world, so to speak. All right. So again, it's a pleasure. Thanks, and I do wish all the best to the organizers to this event. We look forward to a resounding success, and we'll be available all the way to offer our support. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate you.
Thank you, Emmanuel.
Yes. If there's someone I know that's really passionate about gaming, is an esport in particular, is Kumi. I met Kumi maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, and the first time I had a conversation with Kumi was about Nintendo 64. And I went to his office and I saw a Nintendo 64. I'm like, Kumi, why do you still have this game in your office? And I wasn't surprised when I got to know that he was involved in this project, with Nina Sports. So we're going to be inviting Kumi right now.
So I also met Kumi 3 years ago.
Wow.
When we first thought about how esports is the future of sports in the world.
Okay.
And the first question we asked ourselves in our various strategic meetings at Ninayo was, who are the passionate stakeholders of esports? So we started searching, and the first person we got was Kumi.
Wow.
And since then, it's been amazing. This is a young man that has dedicated his life towards ensuring that esports empowers a lot of young people. I mean, I see the excitement in his eyes whenever results are churned out and is a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old that has won.
Yeah.
And his understanding of esports is amazing.
Wow.
When he talks esports, I'm always, you know, just blown away. But hey, don't let me talk too much about Kumi since he's going to be
Speak about
introducing
it.
himself.
So we're going to invite in Kumi Adenipebi, the senior partner, Game Evo. Mr. Kumi is going to be speaking to us about the modalities of the tournament. You know, he's working on this project as the lead consultant. So he's going to be speaking to us, you know, on the modalities of the Esports Championship E-Series 2020. Over to you,
Kumi,
Kumi
please,
Adenipebi.
please, for 5 minutes, because the Honorable Minister, represented by Dr. Bojaye, is waiting to declare this open.
Yes, please. Over to you, Kumi. Thank you so much, Kumi, once again. Your passion can be felt from the screen, about esports.
This is a world record.
Yes.
Could be talking within what?
2 to 3 minutes.
5 minutes. Amazing.
Yes. So right now we're going to invite the representative of the Honorable Minister of Sports.
Let me do,
and I'm
do me
going,
the honor to.
Yes, please. Yes, please. I'm about doing that.
This gentleman I want to introduce is literally my father in sports. On the eve of me leaving Ogun State as the Commissioner for Sports, we sat down over dinner, and he said to me, Honorable Okpade, do not leave sports. That right now we're scratching the wall of sports business. Go out and develop yourself more and create a sports business. Himself and his colleague, Mr. Nelson, Peter Nelson. That explains why today Nilayo is what it is, because of the impetus given to me from the words from these wise men and the encouragement for me to go out and build a sports business. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce Dr. Ebojaye, representing the Honorable Minister for Sports, who just sent me a text that he's been called up to the villa. Doctor, I welcome you. Please, we invite you to declare this tournament open for the next 8 weeks.
Thank you so very much, Honorable Bukola Olopade, my brother, friend, and a good ally. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to stand on the existing protocol already defined. I have been watching very patiently, and from our side here, we have 5 persons from the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development hooked onto this program because of how so very important it is to us at the ministry level. I am standing in for the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports Development, who is unavoidably absent. He would have loved to be here himself because of the passion he has for esports. Esports, like we all know, is a business of over $1.4 billion annually. And with COVID-19, it is given that the world is gradually shutting indoors. So most of our activities are now regulated indoors. And which is the best way to do sports indoors these days if it is not esports? So this is a new vista that's been opened up for us, and as a nation, we are tapping into the potentials that exist here. And that is why it is a sector that is very close to the minister's heart, and it sends his good wishes, and also to encourage all the stakeholders in the business of esports to continue the traction and the traffic and the attention that it is giving. It's a revenue spinning venture which many Nigerians, especially the youth, are already benefiting from. And we want to use this opportunity to commend Nilayo Sports for their objectivity in bringing up this program. I'm sure when I was listening earlier, with 10,000 US dollars, that's not my fee. It's a lot of money. And this money is coming to the pockets of Nigerians who won't be happy about this development. So I encourage all gamers to hook on to this system, get into their machines and play this game for as long as it lasted. And I wish everybody the best of luck. I wish that I personally will be permitted by Nilayo to participate in this program. I know he will say yes, but if I win the prize money, people will say, oh, the Ministry of Sports has won this. Why? There is an Ojoro arrangement. So I won't. If I participate, I'll just be participating for the fun of it, but not to pick the prize money. So, but I'm very encouraged by this development, and as acting director of federations, we'll continue to give our support to esports as well as other federations, and we'll continue to do our best to showcase the potentials that exist in our citizens. So It is my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Honorable Sunday Dare, to officially declare the Esports Game 2020 open to the glory of God and to the benefit of all Nigerians. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So before we go,
Yes.
I would like to hear from you. Esports Championship 2020. Why the vision?
So during the lockdown, as you all know, I was at the COVID isolation center, and a lot of things started playing in my head. So I started talking to my team about what we needed to do going forward with the new reality. And of course, as blessed as Nilayo has always been, the young people in my team came together and started talking about all sorts. They were talking about the virtual running for the Access Bank Lagos Marathon. By the way, Access Bank are coming on board to support this also.
Wow.
They started talking about our e-sport pursuit for the last 3 years, and they came up with all sort of strategies. And I thought, okay, why not? Let's start. So from even when I was in hospital, we had started a 3-week event where young people were winning from 100,000 naira to 50,000 to 150,000. Apparently, I was told a 13-year-old in Ireland won one of those events. And so we said, okay, this has been a success. We've practicalized this. Kumi and Laide have assisted us in putting this together, and we've seen the traction. When 700, 800 young people during lockdown who could not leave their houses got involved, and they were winning money, and they were excited about it. So we decided, why not go bigger? Why not start something that would shake the table, so to say. And we decided to do this 8-week event, encompassing all of those 4 different esports events, Valorant, FIFA, Pubg, and Fortnite. And here we are. It's been a very seamless planning because of people like you. I mean, putting together the studio and giving us this up to use for almost nothing. And the support from our sponsors. And we just felt this is encouraging enough for everybody to go into it. But Dr. Eboja mentioned another key aspect of why Nilayo is involved. Nilayo is a business, and we cannot sit down and watch 14 billion that goes into esports globally to just be going around and we do not have a bite in that pie. So we wanted to break bread.
You know, I was waiting for you to come to the bread part of the conversation.
We wanted to break bread and also share bread with a lot of young Nigerians and Africans. And this was a huge opportunity for us to blaze a trail in this country and, if possible, in Africa. And that's why we are going a step further with the Africa Esports Summit that we are sure of bringing up sometime in March or April. And we are thanking God for the support and commitment of the Honorable Minister, who is very determined to ensure that esports becomes a revolutionized sport in this country. A few days ago, he announced on his Twitter handle to the very amiable way of how the president himself and the presidency have accepted that sport is no longer just entertainment, but business. I was shocked when we were doing this research on esports globally, and we saw a PwC article in 2018 that already said $180 million was being spent by gamers in Nigeria yearly.
So the value chain is very large.
It's a huge value chain. And when the minister decided to go all out to ensure that sport becomes a business, that was music to our ears. And this is what we have been striving to do. So we decided to be part of this and ensure that we blaze the trail, we break bread, and we share bread with so many young people. For the summit we're planning, it's going to be massive. We're looking at a hotel where all tech giants will come in and display, and we're planning to bring in some of the best gamers in the world to come and do demonstration events so that Nigerians can begin to see
an exposure.
Yes, I mean, I've learned a lot about esports. You know, I mean, you'll be shocked. I know about Liquid, and yes, I know about the best team in being sponsored by the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow.
Yes, I watch documentaries on esports because, hey, in the final analysis, this has to be a huge success in Nigeria.
Yes.
We have to empower young people.
Yes.
We have to take it as a business and ensure that not just players alone, not just organizers alone, and even sponsors are able to make a lot of money from this.
Yes. Thank you so much, Milayo Sports Management Limited, for finding esports as a worthy enterprise that people should get involved in. And of course, because of you, because of the organization, I can say for sure that millions of Nigerians, millions of Africans would be exposed to understand what esports is and be interested, in participating, in this tournament. I also want to let watchers to understand that every Friday through to Sunday from 5 p.m., you can join us on our Facebook channel as well as YouTube channel to see all the events that will be holding from Friday to Sunday. Once again, 5 p.m., to like 9, 10 p.m. from Friday to Sunday. I want to thank you for joining us today, at this opening ceremony for the Esports Championship E-Series 2020. Let me tell you something. Talent will be birthed, new ideas will come, and please don't miss this for anything. Thank you, and we appreciate Nilai once again. We appreciate our sponsors, Ogun State Government, My X3, HP, and Lagos State Sport Commission. It's good to have you with us. Okay, because we have pressmen with us, we're going to give them an opportunity to ask us a few questions, and anyone that cannot, we feel that HP, Mike 3, or state government needs to answer, we're going to call on you, to answer those questions. So, we're going to call on pressmen right now, to ask us a few questions. Thank you.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Well, this is supposed to be an African tournament.
Absolutely.
But then your prize money is in Naira.
Dollars.
Okay. So exactly how much in dollars?
It is a $10,000 pool money that, as Kumbi explained, that will be spread around the four various different games, Pubg, Valorant, Fortnite and FIFA. So there's a share system that will put money together. And this is the exciting thing about esports that I've come to realize. It is a sort of sport that spreads prize money to so many gamers. In football, what will happen is the first prize will go to a team, second prize will go to a team, and third prize will go to a team. Ditto in marathon, where Milayo plays big in, you discover that the first runner will pick up his $50,000, is gone. But for esports, it trickles down. It's a sport that creates empowerment for as many people, a sport that as you can think of. And this is one of the reasons why I'm very excited. And I smile. I said, as Commissioner for Youth and Sport in Ogun State, I insisted on all the caddies becoming golfers. And that became very productive for Ogun State. We won every medal at the Kaduna 2009 through those caddies, because the big men who were playing it were not going to represent Ogun State anyway. My point is this: golf has always been an elite sport, which I am now beginning to encourage various golf clubs in Nigeria to allow the poor kids who carry their bags to become players. With esports, it is a sport that brings everybody together. I told you in one of my interviews, I was shocked to have seen that in my hometown of Abeokuta, in Itoku, there was a playing hub like what we have here. In that enclave. I was shocked. The locals, some of them who could not even speak English, were top players who have now registered to be part of this event. And that tells you how far this $10,000 prize money will go in empowering people.
Right. Well, I was going to ask you to give me a breakdown of winners, second, third, and all of that. But then maybe you will help me understand. But then the categories, the names you called now, and the different types of consoles or whatever, I really don't understand.
I think that would be a question for Kumi or Laide.
Yeah, is that the categories for the tournament?
Kumi, were you able to get that question? Okay, please come again with the question.
All right. The question is, what's the category? In what categories will they be playing? If we're playing tennis, you see men and women's categories, singles, or you're seeing doubles or mixed doubles. So, what's the category of play in this tournament, or are they determined by the names you call, the Pubg, Valorant, or what? How do you determine the categories?
Kumi, did you get that? I can't.
You should be able to answer that. Understand the question, but let me just say, it's an open. So it's not categorized. It's an open, which means a junior, a 10-year-old who is good enough can come and play and win. A 50-year-old who has been playing for many years can play. So when you look at the cadre of registration, you see that we've seen a 66-year-old person registered already for this tournament, and we've seen a 9-year-old through their parents register. So it's not categorized, it's an open, which creates a winning pool for as many people that can win at the various finals.
Final question. How many players have entered or are taking part in this
As
tournament?
Kumbi said earlier on, 700 have registered for FIFA, I think 280 for Pubg.
Yes.
Valorant, over 200.
It's over 200 as well, same as Fortnite.
But let me tell you that we've been able to reach, and this is amazing, over 2 million people on social media in the last 4 weeks. And again, the Accessman Lagos City Marathon, as big as it is, and it's a big deal, took almost 3 years to reach that kind of followership. But with this introduction, just 4 or 5 weeks ago, we were able to reach close to 2 million people in terms of social media reach. Let me shock you. The Nilayo Sports Management Limited website has never known traffic this much like it has in the last 5 weeks. And we're calling on private sector organizations to come and advertise on Nilayo website. Now you have a lot of people that you can reach.
Wow. I think that's one of the benefits of esports.
Absolutely.
And anything digital. Once anything is digital, it has the power to reach the world. Someone was asking me a few weeks ago, and he said, "What is the benefit of having a digital business?" I said, "The world becomes your starting point, and not your local." So, and that's the benefit of having the esports tournament.
To support your point, we have seen publications from Zimbabwe, from South Africa, from Singapore, written about this tournament, and for me, that is just to show that whatever we're doing together alongside the sponsors, alongside the technical people, is actually resonating globally. And we're grateful to God for that.
Thank you once again, members of the press. If you have any questions to ask, we're going to be putting our email address under this broadcast, you can send an email address. You can send an email address, to us, and we're going to be responding as fast as possible so that you can understand all that pertains Esports Championship 2020. So this event has been declared open. Let's start, let's enjoy, and let's have the best of time. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Welcome everybody to another adventure this Sunday to the Game Evo Show. Now today I'm not going to be taking you guys on a gaming review. I'm going to be taking you guys on an adventure we had last year in Côte d'Ivoire, Abidjan. Now they had an event called the Festival of Technology, and in French it's called FEJA. God knows how that corresponds. Anyway, they had a gaming section there which featured FIFA 17, PES 17, Naruto Storm 4, and Street Fighter 5. Yes, we went there with our crew. Nigeria did a couple of games and we came second place in Street Fighter 5. Now, this is our adventure. Don't mind the video. I had to do a video log. We didn't go with our camera crew, but you guys should be able to see what we did. Now, this is our adventure. Hope you enjoy it. See you guys in a bit. Stop! Wait a minute. Before we went to Côte d'Ivoire, we had some qualifiers in Nigeria. So we tagged it the FEJA qualifiers for FEJA Nigerian qualifiers. So let's take you guys back to the qualifiers before we take you forward to FEJA. So let's go back. Today we're doing the qualifiers for the FEJA 2017 in Côte d'Ivoire, the Nigerian qualifier. The games are going to be FIFA 17, Naruto Storm 4, and Street Fighter 5. We are about to take you in. Get ready. Let's go.
Right on skills.
Kevin, aka KID, Jokes, aka Jokes, Tio, aka Tequila Blonde. We just finished the Street Fighter 5 tournament, and sadly, you got first place.
Yeah, of course, I always get first place.
After God, I got second as the king, and the demon got third. So
I just let them win.
Yes, we don't need excuses, man. No excuses. So our plan right now is to go to Abidjan.
Yeah,
and represent this country and mess them all up over there. Let them know that we exist.
Nigeria for life, man.
Nigeria for life. Shaolin.
Yeah, Shaolin, man.
Give them Shaolin. KID, the king. My boys, Chooks, Demon.
Yeah.
Tequila Blonde, the god. We're the best there is, the best everyone will be. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. And we're going to destroy them over there, and that's the plan. I ain't scared. We're scared of ourselves. We're going to be just a cake. We're going to destroy them and within our country with
Okay, so you've heard from them. These are the best 3 Nigerian Street Fighter players we have now. They qualified for the FEJA 2017 in Abidjan, and they are taking the war to the guys in Côte d'Ivoire. So Côte d'Ivoire guys, get ready for the Nigerian players. They are coming. Right here, I am with the final guy in the Naruto Storm. Naruto Storm 4. He battled like, I don't know, he was a low tower for Naruto, but yeah, he was able to kick out like basically everybody that played. He came first. He's the major qualifier going for the FEJA 2017. But yeah, that's what we just had, the FEJA 2017 Nigerian qualifiers for the Naruto Storm 4. And he came first. So what's your gamer tag?
At Tonero.
Tonero. Okay, so Tonero, how was the tournament?
It was cool. It was nice. When I was coming, what I had in mind was I wanted to win.
So how long have you been playing tournaments? This is your first time?
I did my first time playing this tournament because I know this is the first time I'm seeing the tournament.
Well, have you been in any tournament before? Well, this is your first tournament because you are a lucky gamer and it's first tournament and first week. So you are qualified and will be going to the Pubg